Hi everybody and welcome to episode 29 of Thought Bubbles, sparkling insights into community engagement, brought to you from my office in McLaren Vale, about 45 minutes south of Adelaide in South Australia. A quick one today to get you thinking about how you engage with communities in your decision making, but particularly in relation to your content being emotive and concrete. I'll explain what I mean by emotive and concrete in a second, but to set the scene, what's triggered my thinking around this is our council rates have recently gone up, and many people in my local town are kind of a bit annoyed about it because they've really gone up quite significantly and are quite high. And of course everybody is suddenly saying, why weren't we asked about this? And you probably were asked about it, and you probably decided not to respond, or just not being able to respond because probably the engagement process didn't hook you in. Either the content of it, the questions that were being asked, or the convenience of ways in which you could provide your input. But what I'm wanting to highlight in relation to rates particularly, and it's actually relevant for any engagement process or project, but this is a really good one because it's one that really kind of gets to people, it affects them when it actually happens, is that if a consultation or engagement process isn't emotive, in that it doesn't make you feel emotional about it, you're not going to get much engagement from people, you're not going to get much input. The same if it's not concrete, if it's a bit wishy-washy and a bit kind of like, this is where we're thinking of spending the money next year, and this is kind of going to how it will affect. There'll just generally be like a, 2% rise or whatever it is. It's a bit wishy-washy, it's not concrete enough. When people get their rates notice and they open their bill up, that is concrete. That is a bill saying this is how much your rates have gone up by. It's also emotive because you just say, what? That's a ridiculous amount of money. Now imagine if that emotion or that concreteness was part of the engagement strategy. So you could find a way that you could actually say to people, your rates are going to be, when you open the bill, it's going to say this. It's almost like in an engagement process, you kind of could do with doing like an April Fool's. I don't necessarily recommend you do this, particularly local councils, but send a rates notice as part of your engagement that says what your rates are going to go up to, and you're going to get the reaction from people because they see it there in front of them in black and white in concrete, and it triggers the emotion and it would make you respond. We've got a local Facebook group for the town in which I currently live in. I'm moving this week, but and there was a lot of discussion because people were opening up their rates notices and seeing the rates increase. And I actually said as part of that discussion, I bet there have been more comments made in that discussion forum than probably the council received in their entire engagement process. I'm just making a guess. Because it's that emotive concreteness of the actual announcement being made. And so when you're planning your engagement process and you plan to get some feedback on your rates, try and make it as concrete as possible. Try and make it as real. Don't gloss over the facts. Don't give us the city is going to be spending this much on whatever. What we really want to know is how much are we going to be paying. And that is where engagement can sometimes go a bit wrong if we're not specific enough and we're a bit too generic. Anyway, there's no right or wrong to it all. This is just some of my thinking around rates in particular as an example, but about trying to get engagement that hooks people in, and actually it's a topic we are all interested in. Not necessarily how you're going to spend the rates, but certainly how much we're going to be paying. So anyway, just my food for thought. I'd love to know what you think. If my council, you know who you are, I think are watching this, please don't increase my rates as a result of this little rant. I will happily pay them on time and be very courteous. And okay, until next time, see ya.